Hi everybody, this is Leica Noctilux. Today I'm going to show you how to shoot the 50mm 0.95 Noctilux. Like I promised in my only lens for 8 years video, I'm here to drop some tips and tricks to help you get the most out of this dreamy lens. Actually, a lot of these tips work with any fast lens when you're shooting wide open. I'm in the studio today with the stunning Gabriella modeling, Alexandra assisting, and Kevin filming. Huge shout out to them. I'll link all their IGs in the description, so please show them some love. Now, I'm not one to call myself the best at anything. Heck, I wouldn't even say I'm an expert. But after nearly 9 years of shooting exclusively the 50mm 0.95 Noctilux across 4 different M bodies, I'd say I know my way around it pretty well. Yes, I still miss focus sometimes, and yes, I pretty much live at 0.95. Channeling my inner Peter Carba.
Warum blenden, wenn ich mit offene Blende fotografieren kann?
Translation: why stop down when I can shoot wide open? Some people on the internet have called me a one-trick pony, but hey, at least my pony is a Noctilux. Focus is unforgiving at 0.95. Just a slight movement and you're off. I still get motion blur sometimes because I bring my camera down too fast after hitting the shutter. Yup, even with fast shutter speeds. The key is to slow down. Pay attention to your breathing. Sometimes I even hold my breath before taking the shot to keep things steady. Another trick I use is the back and forth rocking method. So I'd set the aperture to 0.95 or the widest aperture on your fast lens, then I slightly rock back and forth while looking through the viewfinder to find the sharpest plane of focus. Sometimes I even set my camera to high-speed continuous mode and take a few shots while rocking, just to make sure at least one of them is perfectly in focus. If you're shooting digital, focus aids can be super helpful. Use the LCD screen or an EVF, electronic viewfinder, with focus peaking. The colored outlines will highlight exactly what's in focus. If you're still missing focus, try targeting areas with high contrast, like the edge of an eye instead of just the iris. Film shooters have a bit of an advantage here. Film is more forgiving with sharpness. That grain hides minor focus misses and makes your shots look more organic. Plus, film has exceptional highlight retention, which pairs beautifully with the Noctilux's light gathering power. Okay, this might sound like a no-brainer, but your eyesight is everything when it comes to nailing focus. Since we're all glued to screens these days, plus staring through viewfinders when shooting, don't forget to give your eyes a break every few hours. And if they're feeling dry, a couple of eye drops can do wonders. Gotta protect those precious photographer peepers. How shallow is 0.95? It's very shallow. Let me show you an example. Here's an image of Gabriella. Notice how her face is slightly turned, so her eyes aren't on the same focus plane. Her right eye, our left, is a bit closer to the camera than her left eye, our right. As a result, you'll see that her right eye appears sharper than her left. That's how sensitive the depth of field is at 0.95. Even a small angle can make a big difference. Let's look at another example. In this shot, Gabriella has sheer drapes over her face. I think I accidentally focused on the drapes instead of her eyes. As a result, you'll notice the drapes are sharp, but her eyes are slightly out of focus. Although the drapes are very close to her face, there's just enough distance to throw off the focus. This shows how even the smallest difference in distance can impact focus when shooting wide open. So, always keep depth of field in mind when shooting wide open. When taking portraits, think about whether you want one eye in focus or both. Position your subject so both eyes are on the same plane of focus if you want them equally sharp. This becomes even more important when photographing multiple people. Make sure they're all aligned on the same focus plane to keep everyone in focus. We all know lighting is key in photography, and the Noctilux lets you create stunning images with minimal light. For this shoot, we kept it super simple. Just natural light from a window, a 300-watt constant light, and a reflector to shape and bounce the light. Sometimes less really is more. Constant lights are awesome, especially if you're filming video too. Because, let's be real, nobody wants their viewers having a seizure from crazy flickering lights. If you shoot wide open often, investing in ND filters is a good idea. A 3-stop ND filter is usually enough for digital shooters. Film photographers may need a 6 or even 9-stop ND to remain at 0.95 or wide open without blowing out your highlights. Remember, simplicity is key when working with fast lenses. Let the lens work its magic. We love the Noctilux for shooting wide open because of the beautiful bokeh. But what exactly is bokeh? Bokeh is that beautiful, out-of-focus blur that makes your subject pop, adds depth, and draws the viewer's attention. Signature Noctilux shots really lean into bokeh as part of the composition. The most interesting bokeh happens when you mix in lights, shapes, textures, and colors in the background to create those beautiful, blurry elements that make your photos pop. So, how do you get that look? By layering your composition for depth. Check out this image. You can see here that Gabriella is closer to the wall behind her than she is to me with the camera. Since I'm standing pretty far back, she kind of blends into the wall and the photo feels a bit flat and lifeless. It doesn't really give off that signature Noctilux vibe. In this image, I moved in closer to her and she stepped off the bed, adding some distance between her and the wall. Now you can start to see that swirly bokeh kicking in behind her. She definitely pops more and looks more three-dimensional compared to the previous shot. But I'm still not sure if this is peak Noctilux magic yet. In this image, I got even closer to Gabriella. She's back on the bed now, but because the distance between us has shrunk, you can really start to see that Noctilux magic happening in the background. The bokeh is softer, airier, and it adds this dreamy, almost painterly vibe to the photo. This is why I love the Noctilux. In that wall, I'm obsessed with it. The texture adds so much character to the bokeh, making it even more interesting. Now let's punch in even more. Here, you can see I'm even closer to Gabriella than she is to the wall behind her, and the bokeh is going absolutely wild. This, to me, is peak Noctilux, that signature look we all love. If you want to create bokeh-licious shots like this, the trick is simple. Get close to your subject, but pull them away from the background. Having interesting textures and shapes in the background, like this awesome wall, really helps add character. And if you're outdoors, foliage is your best friend for creating beautiful, dreamy bokeh. Also, bokeh isn't just for the background. You can totally have it in the foreground too. Using objects in front of your subject adds extra depth and can help frame your shot in a way that naturally guides the viewer's eye right where you want it. It's like adding a little bit of visual spice to your composition. This shot isn't razor sharp, but that softness gives it a timeless, almost ethereal feel. Plus, the way the drapes frame her face adds this beautiful, dreamy touch that really pulls the whole image together. After nearly 9 years of shooting with the Noctilux, here's what I've learned. It's not about chasing perfection or getting tack sharp images every time. It's about embracing the quirks, the occasional missed focus, the chromatic aberration, the vignetting, all those little imperfections that make each photo feel alive. The magic of this lens isn't just in the specs for the creamy bokeh, it's in the stories you capture with it. If you're new to shooting wide open, don't stress if your first few hundred shots aren't perfectly sharp. It's part of the process. Even experienced photographers miss focus with this lens, and that's totally okay. The beauty is in the learning curve. Every shot teaches you something new. At the end of the day, photography isn't about technical perfection. Some of the most powerful images are slightly out of focus, have unexpected flares, or imperfect lighting. That's what makes them feel real and raw. The Noctilux helps you capture those fleeting moments and convey the emotion in a way no other lens can. Alrighty, you've been knocked up today.
And we're knocked out.
Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.
Bye.